Hey, there we go. Welcome back to the live stream. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Ritz. Today is November 12th, 2019.
Wheelchair Sean just resubscribed for 6 months.
And Sean just resubscribed. Thank you so much. Well, we're going to write a little bit of code today. Thank you for the follow. My goodness, look at this. We're starting hot today. Oh, my goodness. Thanks so much for the follow there. And how's it going, chat room? This is kind of like a half day for me today because I'm traveling this afternoon. Look at this, Carrie.
Payet just resubscribed for 11 months. 11 months since the discovery of Twitch for me.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. That is another sub. So every sub, every cheer, we're going to make donations to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Yeah. That's totally a thing we're going to be doing here in the next few days, actually. We'll make our first donation. I want to make sure that those come through quick to St. Jude. How's it going, chat room? My gosh, let me say hello to some folks here. GA Progman Sean is here. Job in PA, hello. A Huffling, good to see you. Got to see Andrew in person last week at Microsoft Ignite. WSR 95, good afternoon. VK, is that Vikava? Hello. Svava is here. And DD Walsh. Good morning from Bellevue, where you got a big package of Uranus fudge yesterday. Uranus fudge. For a second there, I read that as, I don't want to. Ancient Coder
just resubscribed for 15 months. Good afternoon, Fritz and friends.
Good afternoon. It's so good to see you. Thanks so much for the resub. 15 months. Oh my goodness, has it been that long? Thank you so much. Devil Dog Tech Nerd, hello. Musical bookwork, Douglas Menke design. So yeah, Dee, you get some interesting food delivered there. Layla codes it. Layla's here. Oh my goodness.
Greetings, my excellent
Gotta play
friend.
that again. So good to see you. Hype, lots of hype in the channel. Welsh Ronaldo is here. Carrie says, what's the plan for beard prep for Dev Intersection? Your hair is prepped since you have no beard. Uh-oh, what'd you do with your hair? So Carrie's going to be at Dev Intersection next week. I'll be there. And Dev Intersection starts on Tuesday. Tuesday, and I'll be hosting some live content from the Dev Intersection channel over there. Layla will be there. Oh my gosh, I'll get to meet Layla in person. Oh my gosh. Dee Dee's going to dye her beard purple. What? I am stopping at Ulta later today. That's right, ladies. There's a straight guy here going to Ulta and picking up hair color because I've only got purple left, and I need to get some yellow, some red, some blue. I could probably do green since I'm going to, but I've only got so much space here. I've only got so much real estate here. But Tuesday we will dye my beard rainbow as a salute to you, our Twitch followers, our Twitch family. We crossed 8,000 followers about a month or so ago. We're continuing motoring on to our 10,000 follower milestone. That's a huge milestone. According to Social Blade, we're going to land there right about New Year's Day. That'll be really cool. But when we do, we'll have a 12-hour festival of folks joining us, writing some code with us, talking about tech all day long. It's when we hit the goal, we'll schedule it, and I will get all of our guests lined up. Some folks you know, some folks you don't know. Some folks you might be surprised that they join us. Oh my gosh, and Copper Beardy's here. You're not going to read it? You're not going to read it? Rating the party with 7 viewers. Look at all the emotes. Look at this. Thank you so much, Copper Beardy, for the raid. Appreciate that. Welcome in, Raiders. My name is Jeff Fritz. We're just getting started. We're still talking about what's happening here over the next little bit here. You just spit out your Diet Coke over that one. Over which one? Yeah, that's right. Heading to Ulta. Thanks so much, Copper Beardy. Hey, what were you working on over there on your channel? Copper Beardy, of course, is another member of the Live Coders team, just like Carrie right there. And we're a bunch of folks writing code here live on the channel. On the Twitch. The Twitch. Like there's another Twitch. I've got my Dunder Mifflin hat on today. Like I said, this is kind of a half day for me. So I finish up here. I pack my gear up, and I'm heading to Tech Bash in the Poconos, which is right near the Dunder Mifflin offices in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Don't pronounce the T in there. There is no T in Scranton. No, Scranton. That's where you head to, where the office supposedly was filmed. So, let's see what else is going. Working hard on some code challenges. Viewers helping you improve your maths. Very cool. Copper Beardy of Type T, says Janescu. Yeah. Can I answer your question? You know C# almost good, but you can't write any program. Where can you start programming? I don't understand. Where can you start programming? You can start programming anywhere. Folks, what I tell folks, if you're starting to in your software development career, you're starting on this journey of learning and writing software. The best way is to just start writing code. Figure out what's a little application, something small that you can write that would be interesting, that you would want to stretch a little bit and try and figure out what that small little application is. For me, my first application that I wrote was something to keep track of baseball cards or comic books. And I mean, it's a simple application, but once I got in a little bit, it'd be like, oh, well, what if I stored pictures of these? Oh, and what if I did this? And what about search? How does search work? And trying to figure out and stretch a little bit and write little pieces of the application as they get bigger and bigger. And that's a little bit of what the kind of the mentality that goes into some of the applications that we write here on stream is, well, let's write something simple that we know. How to build widgets, how to interact with Twitch. And then let's stretch a little bit. Let's bring in some artificial intelligence and learn about that. Let's do some things with CSS layout, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try and finish this up and make that a little bit interesting. Stelzy!
Steel279
No, not
just
Stelzy.
resubscribed for 13 months. C# Hypebot, C# Hypebot, C# Hypebot.
Indeed. Thank you so much for that. 13 months keeps you in that rainbow hat with a propeller. Thank you so much for joining in. Nope, didn't set the project tag yet. We'll get there in a second. Jimmy Engstrom's here. Look at that right there. How's it going there, my friend? So, caught up with Jimmy and Jessica last week at the Microsoft Ignite, at the Ignited Microsoft I think I'm going to start calling it that, the Ignited Microsoft. And huge event. So many folks there. Really happy to see how it went. Fun fact, evals for Jimmy's Blazor session, top 10 for the entire event. Top 10 for the entire event. Amazing reviews. Well done, my friend. And there's some other things about the evaluations that came through that I can't help but giggle at. So, very cool. Where do you get the swag gear? What swag gear, Devil Dog Tech Nerd? There's... thank you, Carrie, for setting that. You need to get an SD card reader so you can make an IoT stream. Oh, yeah, very cool. So Timus, TPE, was at Ignite this year, saw me at a couple different interviews. How did I feel that Mixer wasn't shown on camera but Twitch was? To be perfectly frank, Mixer doesn't care about technical content. I'm not saying anything that isn't well known. It is not something that they are showing, that they are working towards, that they are particularly interested in supporting at this time. Drop the mic. And that's just a thing, you know. I've talked to them about that several times. There is no interest. So, and the fact that Twitch is where the community is. Twitch is where the programming folks are. I'm happy to go and support the communities here, help grow a community, build a community, and encourage folks to write software, to engage and be able to build cool new things. And yes, Ignite was on Twitch, but was not on Mixer. Once again, drop the mic. That's just the way it is. Let me see what else is going on here. Yeah, what's swag? The Razor hat in particular. What Razor hat? My Blazer hat? That's a hat that I had custom made for myself. Every now and again, I do a giveaway. I'll do a raffle, and I will make those available for folks for a donation to a charitable organization. That's just a thing. Continuing at Ignite this year. Wow, that's cool. Wasabi Cheetah, thank you for the follow. Ignited somehow sounds like a big disaster. Nah, it went pretty well. It's always pretty good for me at that event.
Devil Duke Techno just resubscribed for 3 months.
How do you mispronounce dog as Doog? I mean, really? It's Devil Dog Tech Nerd. How did you get Doog out of that? Come on, Stream Elements. Get with the program. Oh, gosh. Little Dan 45. Hello. Snoopaloopy asks, can you make a request for a future dev intersection? Sure you can. You'd love to see me do a segment with Jeff Holland. I've tried to do a segment with him a couple times. And we've misconnected a couple times. There was one time that we were all set up. We were ready to go. We were in the seats at, I think it was Ignite last year, ready to broadcast, and the network went out. Twitch without a network is no Twitch. So that was a problem. So Snoopaloopy, he is an interview that I have on my get list. He's one that I definitely want to get. Wasabi Cheetah asks, am I on dev.to? I am. I haven't published anything there yet. I need to figure out the best way to syndicate things from my blog to over there because, to be perfectly frank, I own my content. And I'm not going to just give it to another platform unless I can have the authoritative information point back to my blog. The bag, Tima says the bag that they got this year was worse than last year. I have both bags. I like this year's bag. I was able to fit a whole lot more stuff in it. Dee Dee Walsh is here, and she'll tell you, I literally packed my entire studio in that bag and carried it across town. And we shot the Tuesday night stream with mobilize.net. Everything was packed in the bag. Everything to run my stream was in that bag. Cameras, multiple laptops, multiple. I had an extra screen in there, keyboards, mice, more cables than you can shake a stick at. It was, yeah, the bag was like a clown car. She's not wrong there. It was amazing the amount of stuff that I was able to fit in there. Thank you for the follow, Dischain. Welcome. The bag's enormous. It's pretty good. Jesse Skinner, hey, good to see you. DevTOs, you can easily set your canonical URL to my actual blog and keep ownership of content. Bingo. I need to figure out a good way to do that, right? So how I do that syndication over there from WordPress, yeah, and I've got a couple blog posts that I'm halfway written. And this is my problem with blogging in general versus just talking to you here live on stream. Hello. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to writing, and that's part of the reason why I struggled writing a book. Was I'm a perfectionist with this, and it takes me a little bit of time to feel comfortable with what I've written. I read through everything I write 3 times, at least 3 times, and I'm very critical of what I write, particularly if I'm writing about myself. So it's very hard for me to feel comfortable with something that I'm going to publish, particularly. So when I do something here live on stream like this, I feel really good about it, because I can just say it and it's done. It's out there. No thinking twice about that. How many cables can I shake a stick at? Tons. I'm trying to find. I don't have. The cables aren't wound up here. They're actually in use right now here in Studio F here. Can we call it Studio F here at the Fritz house? Dev.to allows you to import content from an external blog. Force a canonical URL. Oh, nice, GA Progman. Okay, I'm going to have to take a look at that. No, I very much appreciate that. Very much. I will take a look. The bag is really awesome. Big fan. It didn't go last year, so you have nothing to compare to. The bag from last year had a lot of pockets. And my younger daughter absconded with it. She ran off with it, and that's become her thing now. Honey Pup, hello. Carrie likes writing content for Content Lab IO. Yeah, I really like writing stuff for them as well. AC Die, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. They had it all broke out last year to desktop, web, UWP. Enjoyed that they were segmented so you can see what's cool and new in each area. You're not wrong. Is it important to write unit of work on EF Core? No, not at all. You can, VCAV, you can do that any way you'd like. Any platform. Flav Creations, hello. Welcome in. You did see that they broke out Azure Cognitive Services. That was pretty nice. Yeah. So, do I have a stick? I don't have. I've got a pen. I don't have any sticks here. I have pens. I've got pens in the pen cup over here, and that's about it. Anyway. Let's get some music playing here so we can start talking about our project. Let's get into this a little bit. Last time I played Blue by request here. I'm going to play, of course, another song from Music to Code By because it's groovy. It runs in the background here. Today, I would play Blue for the Blue Hat. Look at the focus. I told you not to focus, camera. Why are you focusing? Oh, it's this camera. You. All right. Today I'm going to play Cyan. This is a favorite. There we go. This is Music to Code By, written by our friend Mr. Carl Franklin. It's designed, it's scientifically engineered to get you in the flow, get you in the groove, so that whatever task it is you're working on, you get focused on, and all the other nonsense just kind of fades away. Check it out, mtcb.pwop.com. 25 minutes. Each song will get you in the groove, get you happy. Happy? I'll get you focused and relaxed, and you'll be able to just get stuff done. There we go. Thanks so much, Carl, for letting us listen to your music here live on the channel. Do I have a pencil? That's kind of like a stick. Pencils, these wooden things. Here, I've got something that's kind of like a stick. I've got my Surface Pen. That's a stylus. That's not really a pen because it doesn't have ink in it, but it's kind of like a whatever. Anyways, have I ever been to BlenderCon? Never heard of it. Someone say I must use UOW for unit of work for security. Well, you have to use Entity Framework if you're going to use the identity stuff that's built into ASP.NET Core. That's a thing. Yes. And all that stuff is taken care of. You don't have to think about a thing. You just connect up. Here's my objects, and away it goes if you're using Microsoft Identity. So you don't necessarily have to use Unit of Work. Write your code specific for that. So that's a thing. Reminds you of Neil Young, says Jesse Skinner. Yeah, it's this song is very Neil Young-esque. Is that a thing? Neil, if you're out there, if you're watching, if you're listening, if you catch this clip, we love you, Neil. Thanks so much. Kasukin with the resub.
Just resubscribed for 15 months.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. We'll make another donation to St. Jude. Devil Dog Tech Nerd asks, "How's the new Surface for developers? Is it something worth trying?" Don't know. Don't have one. They didn't send me one. I have the Surface Book 2, and quite frankly, I stopped using it a few months ago. Then I went back to my Lenovo Yoga. I didn't even take the Surface Book with me to Ignite. If you saw me at Ignite, I had my old i3. I carry two Lenovo's now. I have an old i3 ThinkPad that I installed Ubuntu on, and I have my Lenovo Yoga. That's an i7 from a couple years ago. Special edition glass cover, really nice. But no, I'm not going to have a Surface for 2020. I'm not planning to pick up a Surface. I'm going to hold off and wait to see what they say about the Surface Nano at the end of the year. Flav Creation says recently made the move to using GitHub. Well, welcome. GitHub's tremendous. I used to buy the subscription, but I realized I wanted to make everything public anyway. So why have the subscription? So I'm a longtime fan of GitHub. Honeypop asks, trying to convince development team to adopt server-side Blazor for web admin platform. What are the pros that I'd say outweigh the cons? Good question. Server-side Blazor, really easy to work with. You already know how to build and have that mentality around building with components, so you reference applications, and we'll see a little bit of that when we get into the application today. The con that you're going to see as a developer working with it, and server-side Blazor is extremely fast, very responsive. It feels like a native application. Feels like. The cons right now are really around state management. If there's an update to the server while you're currently, or the server restarts, because you are in a stateful connection always to the server, and that's why you get that live feel, your session's done. Anything that you were working on, done. You cannot restart it. There is no, with the way that it's currently built, with what comes in the box, you cannot restart where you left off. Go back to Go. Do not collect $200. Do not collect $200. You got to start all over. And that's a pain in the neck for some people. For our application, we wrote a way to persist the application state to disk so that when it starts back up, it reloads everything and picks up where it left off. So that's totally a thing. Did I hear the new music to code by? Yes, Carl composed it on stream. I did not. I haven't gotten a copy of it yet. Viper110, welcome in. Thanks so much for the follow. What happened to my Surface Book 2? Wasn't powerful enough? It's the only way to get enough power out of the Surface Book 2 is to put it on full power mode. If you put it on full power mode, you can't get a power adapter that provides enough power to keep it on full power mode. So the fact that it's on full power mode and plugged in, it will turn off in 6 hours. Period. No discussion. That's the way it is. And then they rolled out a firmware fix over the summer that turned the power on high power mode down to like 20% of what it's supposed to be. At that point, I gave up on the hardware. Yes, there was a hardware patch that came out. I still haven't installed it because I've learned not to use it anymore. It's the Surface Book 2. It's a beautiful device. It looks magnificent. The drivers, the power management, for me as a developer who wants to have an 8-hour or longer session working because that's my job, it's not sustainable. And that's the way it is. Carl's joining at Sweet Tug in February, where he's responsible for the evening entertainment. Nice. That's very cool. Wouldn't that con be the exact time if you used MVC? State is still going. I don't understand, Honey Pop. No, state is very much available in MVC. Yeah. Because you can do session things, and it's not, stuff isn't saved in memory, right? The Blazor server side is very stateful. You keep things in memory for that instance of the page, and it keeps everything server side. It doesn't matter what you're looking at on screen. Screen goes gray, and you're kicked out. You are gone. Hey, Aaron and Cincy, good to see you. Carrie has the OG Surface Book. I would take the OG Surface Book over the Surface Book 2. The power management for the Surface Book 2 is it is not suitable for anybody who wants to do more than a few hours worth of work at a time. If you need power because you're running a compiler, you're running something that is computing intensive, gaming, sure, it doesn't work. Literally the hardware fails. Honey Pop, already sold with Blazor, just trying to convince your team. So here's what I would say to you, Honey Pop. If you build things with components properly with Blazor, put them out in an external library, like we're doing here with the Fritzbot. What you're going to find is you'll be able to reuse them from server side to client side when client side and WebAssembly is made publicly available in 2020, right? They're targeting the May timeframe. Gee, I don't know. Is there a Microsoft developer conference in May they could announce that at?
Kaiser Carl 2010 just resubscribed for 3 months. Yeah, D.
Yeah, Kaiser Carl, thank you so much. 3 months, that's going to put you into, I believe it's a Red Hat now. Thank you so much. We'll make another donation. You can still do sessions. Yes. Yes, you can. I was trying, but you still need to push the sessions out of memory. You can't use the in-memory provider. You're going to need to put them somewhere else, and you end up persisting and fetching data back and forth still. But it's very much a thing that you can do. A lot of really good questions here today. I hope you enjoy the Q&A that we're doing here real quick. AutoShaw789. No, Antoshaw. I'm sorry. Antoshaw says, what do I think? Move large cloud-based WCF REST app to .NET Core. Does that make sense? No. If you've got a large WCF app and it's running well, don't move it to .NET Core. Leave it where it is. Figure out, are there things that you can migrate and take advantage of other services? Does that make sense? Piecemeal move things. You don't need to migrate something from WCF because WCF is part of Windows. It will always be there. Always. It's not going anywhere. VB6 is still in Windows. So, trust me, it's always going to be there. Thank you, Pung10. Appreciate the follow. Hey, TBD Gamer. Hello, hello. .NET 5 has nothing to do with this. And .NET 5 has nothing to do with WCF. Completely different things. So, okay. I think we can get in and start looking at our code. Yeah. All right. Honey Pop. You wish Microsoft built something entirely for mobile API specifically, so both your API and the mobile app could easily talk to each other without having to code both the API and the SDK in the app. check out some of the things with Azure Functions, and you can integrate and work with that, because that's definitely a thing. So, XXX asks, if you want to use .NET on web development, does it make sense to learn JavaScript now? Then I said it. For some reason, the sound coming into the mixing board here doesn't sound quite right to me. I don't know. Did that sound all right to you, chat room? I feel like the levels are kind of weird. I don't know. Anyways, if you want to use .NET for web development, okay, it does sound good to you, Job and PA. Good. It always makes sense to learn JavaScript for web development, because that's what runs natively in the browser. The new things with WebAssembly are still coming online. Nobody's really pushed that hard in a production space for a production application. And when I say pushed it hard, I mean really stretched the boundaries of the browser WebAssembly capabilities. Blazor supports it. Go compiles to it. C++, of course, compiles to it. Folks are building interpreters and compilers for all kinds of other languages so that you can target WebAssembly in the browser. I would definitely make sure that you know JavaScript so that you can make that interop connection back into the document object model for your web pages. The horses sound fine and healthy. Well, thank you. Little Dan asks, what's the best way to use Azure AD and ASP.NET Core? The docs had some pages returned 404. Little Dan, do me a favor. Drop me some tweets with those links. The docs team watches Twitter. Let me know, and we can take a look at that. But the best way to use Azure Active Directory and ASP.NET Core, there's a configuration option for it right at the beginning of your application that you should be able to literally drop in just a couple lines of code, point to the Azure Active Directory, and it just works. More so than that, if you deploy to Azure App Service with ASP.NET Core and it's running on Windows, and that machine is configured that you deploy to is configured as an Azure application server, it'll automatically connect and become Azure AD. It just does it. There's no thinking. You're connected and up and running. You don't have to write any configuration in there. What's the best option if I want to encrypt connection strings to deploy on customer's own server, not using Azure? Asks WSR95. Lots of great questions today. If I want to encrypt connection strings to deploy on a customer's own server, you can't. It doesn't matter what you're done. If you're deploying onto somebody else's server, you've given up. You don't have control of the server. It doesn't matter if you encrypt it. They've got it sitting on disk. They can brute force it at some point. You're asking questions there that you've already given up control over it. Sorry, not happening. So it's not something. Yeah, not appropriate. Not going to answer that. So, they could just SA into the database too, most likely. Well, some folks aren't too up to speed with that. All right, let's go over. I want to take a look at our project today. I really appreciate the questions. And of course, all of the redemptions are turned on. If folks would like to, where'd it go? Would like to redeem anything, all of the Fritz Bits redemptions are available. If you want me to change fonts in the text editor, you want me to change text, you want me to change editor, live share, you want me to record a voiceover, you want to request me to review your CFP, or you want to submit some code for me to review. All of that is available and out there. Valentine asks, have I used Google Cloud? In terms of simplicity, how would I rate Azure? I have not used the Google Cloud service personally. I tried configuring and getting things up and running a few months ago, and because I'm used to Azure, I got confused by some of the terms and things. I understand .NET Core runs very well over there, but I haven't spent time with it. In terms of simplicity, how would I rate Azure? Azure you can get as complex as you'd like, or you can get as simple as you'd like. You can stand up a virtual machine in Azure in minutes and just put your application out there, and there it is running on the virtual machine. You can get very complex and build functions that sit behind front door, and the functions connect into blob storage and pull things off of a queue and interact with things in different ways, and deployed into a multi-regional database that is replicated around the world in seconds. You can do that. How much of that do you need will determine how complex you need to get into things. So you can make it as complex as you'd like. I believe that Azure has, compared to the other services, simpler naming. They had simpler naming up until things that have been named in the last 6 months. Now they started naming things a little weird, and it's not as easy to understand what things are. I'll credit Apple. They name things exactly what they are. Their spreadsheet they call numbers, right? So right, all the different things, and you know, the different things in the Apple ecosystem that Apple makes are named exactly what they do. Azure does very much the same thing. App service. It's a service to host applications. Azure Load Balancer. Well, it's a load balancer. Azure Blob Storage. Guess what? It stores binary large objects. But I look at things like Amazon Lambda. What's a Lambda? So you have to kind of go through this translation of, well, this service does the same thing as that service, but it's got this cool name, marketing name in front of it. And those are nice. It's nice to have those. But as far as me as an outsider learning, I have to learn what the cool marketing names are to turn it into something. So let me scroll back up here. I could plug who my Twitch revenue gets donated to. Says Entity Adam. Yeah, it's right below me here. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. All my Twitch revenue goes to them. When is this project over? Asks Faux Lewis. So here's the thing. The projects that I build here, that I work on here on channel, they're not intended to actually, right, build and deliver and say this is done. There is no done for these projects. It's let's learn about the next thing and plug it into our project, because this is something we understand and know, the project content, and we're learning about the next technology. We're learning about CSS here today. If I wanted to make the layout just work and do what I needed, I'd do it with table layouts and call it a day. Done. Bang. HTML. Whew. But I'm going to learn about Flex. I want to learn about CSS3. I want to learn about CSS animations. I could have animated the little train going across the screen using jQuery and been done with it. Who cares? It looks fine. It's jQuery. I know how that works. But I wanted to make it interesting. I wanted to learn about something new.
Jeremy Knight _me just resubscribed for 8 months. Ignite was amazing.
Oh, thank you, Jeremy Knight. I'm glad you enjoyed the event. And thank you for the resub. 8 months. Yeah. Very cool. Thank you so much. And we'll make another donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Yep, Lambda is Azure Functions. Totally agree. And, you know, it's learning that connection, right? Learning what those two things are. It's funny I say it that way. To me, the VM is more complex than the serverless options are simpler. but you had to learn the serverless. You had to learn what those things are. Everybody knows what a virtual machine is because you have virtual machines on your own desktop. So that's a thing, right? You already know how to manage that. You're just putting it into somebody else's data center. There's other things that go on around that, around networking and firewalls. You run into those same things with the functions as well, or the lambdas. Have I checked out architecture? No, I have not, Zebcode. Do you have a link for that? It's a DDD Akka.net framework. I am not touching DDD on stream. We tried that in the past. It got overly complex quick. So I'm going to hold off on that. Learned HTML during the times of use a table for everything. Yes, C17, yes! That's the way I did things. Spacer.gif. Oh my gosh, Jesse, you're right. Last time you looked at the AWS documentation, you ran away screaming. Oh my goodness. Written by people not costumed? To writing proper documentation for beginners or people not deeply entranced in AWS cloud. I think you mean accustomed to writing proper documentation. Yeah. Little Dan used Flex in one of their web apps. Sad thing with some older Android phones had issues with it. Yeah, that's a thing. Architecture. Why didn't it search for that? All right. Do I have any advice for people who want to learn how to code websites that have no idea how to start? Currently learning how to code in C#. Just start writing code. Start with some HTML. Go after, and then go after ASP.NET Core. I said it.
And then?
Take a look at things like Blazor to make it a little bit easier to do. Frackberg's definitely an AWS guy, but their docs are bad. Everybody's docs, because the products advance so quickly, and the documentation folks take a little bit of time to keep up. Serverless and containers are awesome indeed. Architecture is a CQRS and event sourcing framework for .NET Core. That makes things way too complicated for what I'm trying to do here on stream. It gets out of control and we lose sight of things very, very quickly. Yep, Robert Tables is awesome at AWS also. And now with Azure Arc, you can host Azure on AWS. That's a thing. Is TFS source control a good option for starting a .NET Core object? No. Use GitHub, Azure DevOps. GitHub's a better place than Azure DevOps right now, and I think you're going to see more folks encouraging GitHub. Use GitHub. So thank you for the follow. Yep, sometimes we do need to just keep it simple, and I'm not going to say stupid, but yes, keep it simple and safe. Keep it simple and safe, something like that. No, I do not use Lambda. It does support C#. Microsoft, yes, developed TFS and then bought GitHub. Yeah. Well, TFS evolved into Azure DevOps as well, and a lot of those features are available over there. As I forget what they call the service on Azure DevOps, but the source control is available. Simple and safe sounds much better. Yeah. Trying to convince your colleagues. Cool. All right. Keep it simple, silly. That works too. So let me take us over to the source code that we're working on here. And let's talk about this a little bit. Let me get this started. There's still Azure repos. That's what they call it. Better for companies because it has the AD integration. I think you're going to see AD integration come to GitHub. Only because it's easier to manage one set of services than it is two. So let me run the application here, show you where we're at, and let's plunge back in here, clean up some more of our CSS that we were working on, and get back into we've got a SignalR issue here that we need to address as well. That, quite frankly, is frustrating to me. You think it was just TFS? Yeah, it was services, right? Team Foundation services. Yep, you're right. GitHub does have private repositories. So we've cleaned up our user interface a little bit here. It looks a little bit better. We moved our login button down here. So if I log in, I'm going to shrink this down just a smidge. Logs in, comes back, and there I'm logged in as C# Fritz. I have access to some other features here, but when I went and checked this out, right, I'm dead in the water at this point. Something happened and it just stops operating, and there's no errors or anything going on over here for my ASP.NET Core application. Something changed, and I don't know what. My voice level got lowered. Well, I pulled it back because I don't want to peak. So I'm worried that something broke here, right? Because it's clearly not doing anything. It navigates around properly between these two, but as soon as I go to one of these other pages that has some features that we need to post back to, poof, right? And it's telling me that my SignalR hub connection is in a disconnected state. So there's something going on there that we're going to need to pull apart and figure out. And I'm worried that we're going to get down into the plumbing here, and it's going to be a little ugly. So, don't know. Yeah, I believe GitHub Enterprise does have the Active Directory integration. I believe it does. Don't know. I haven't spent much time looking at it. I hope it does. I mean, that's kind of the reason why you would call it Enterprise, is if it integrates with your enterprise features. So what do you think, chat room? I'm torn between going after a little bit more of our CSS fix over here, because I want to clean that up a little bit so the menu hides and we properly get the hamburger popping up at the top that this pulls this down. That needs to be done. But this bit, where my SignalR connections are fried, I feel like I need to address that first. So, I mean, on the checklist, I have cleaned up the CSS layout, channel config save to Azure, but I've got, right? I feel like I need to put it up here. Right, is fix SignalR connections, because I'm not able to do anything. The application does not work at all. Yeah, let's fix SignalR first. I kind of agree. Wasabi Cheetah asks, would it be worth it investing in the Surface Studio as an artist game developer? I've been told it's a tremendous device for that. I haven't used one personally. I haven't seen one. Well, I've seen it at the Microsoft Store, but I haven't actually used it. I am not a game developer. I am not an artist, but I'm told that it's tremendous for those folks. So I would say yes, but without firsthand experience, I can't endorse it, if that makes sense. I don't want to. You won't see me endorse anything that I haven't tried on my own. I won't go out and say, I think this is an amazing product. I think you should use this. Is it something that you should try? Friends say yes. And I will always be crystal clear with you, chat room, when it comes to discussing making recommendations for things. So I tell you that I enjoy drinking the G Fuel. I enjoy my Madrinas coffee, and you see me drink it here on stream. That's something that I definitely want to continue enjoying. Ancient Coder votes for fixing the SignalR issues first. I completely agree. If it's not disconnected, does that mean it's already connected? GA Progman, you're not wrong. That's I don't think that's a silly question at all. I think that's we need to understand the state of things here, because, well, to be perfectly frank,
strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
They are. And we need to understand what changed, why it isn't behaving.
Let me add some value.
Carrie!
You are one of the best semicolon and curly brace artists out there.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate the kind words. But
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
you don't. You have no idea what you're dealing with. It's me. It's this guy. Janescu says Surface Studio is amazing for artists and game developers. Okay, there's somebody there suggesting that. If it's not, it was connected at some point last week. You're right, Boom Boom. It was. So, Job in PA says, do I have detailed SignalR errors enabled in Startup CS? Well, let's take a look at that. That's a good question. You had some weird issues with server-side Blazor. You had enabled detailed SignalR errors to figure out what was going on. Let's do that. Let me answer the rest of the questions here. The i5 Surface Pro. Don't get that as a developer. You regret not going i7. Yes, I have a Surface Pro 3 with the i7. That was tremendous as a device. I want to bring that back to life with the latest stuff here. I think it would be really great. Are the SDKs up to date? Changed machines from last week to today. Ooh. Good point. Good point, Stelzy. Yeah, I think a developer should never consider an i5 and should consider an i7 or an i9 first. I think Stelzy might be onto something. We changed machines here, and we might be on. What version am I on here? Let's go over here. I should be pinned. Yeah, I'm pinned to 30100. So I should be using, right? I'm not using this version of the app. I'm using that one because everything should be still set to use the 3.0, yeah, Netcore app 3, not 3.1. So I shouldn't have newer versions of things coming through here when I do my .NET restore. So while my SDK might be newer, the version of the framework I'm using is still 3.0. So I think I'm okay with that as well. And if I look at the running application here, right, we scroll up. I wish I had scrolling music. I need, is that a thing? Can I get scrolling music? That's totally a thing, isn't it? You like the i9, says Spicy Condiment. Carrie typically swaps out main dev machines every 2 years. Yeah. Ryzen Threadripper. Oh, that sounds like an amazing machine. So I think we're okay here, Stelzy. I think. This is an i7-88. No. What processor do we have here? This is an i7-7700. So, the Intel NUC that I use is an 8800, and it's been tremendous. No more G Fuel. Time to switch to Madrinas. There we go. I have cafe vanilla today. It's delicious. What kind of trouble are we getting into today? Mary Jo Stabler.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
Yes, Jack, they were. They were the questions you were called here to answer. We're trying to figure out where our SignalR issue is here. I think that's what we're going to do first. Almost time for .NET Core 3.1. They said it would launch in December. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to close some of these CSS things for now. And let's see if we can go into our startup. And see if we can turn on... See, there's mapping hubs. Map that hub. Map this hub. Everyone a hub, old Mick hub. No. Right, I need to configure. I moved all my ASP.NET configuration over here. Enable detailed errors. True. But I'm not getting any errors. Let's go into the JavaScript that it uses. No. Here. And there's a way to configure logging, SignalR log level trace. There's a way to turn on... I mean, I'm getting console error being written out if there's a problem starting here. But it's not connecting at all. You had coffee just before stream? Fantastic. November 33rd is when they're releasing it. Oh, well, that's good. That's
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
No, there's no chance it's coming out on the 33rd. Sorry. Right, that's just not a thing. So, all right. So where else could this be? Where could we track down? Right, looking here. Cannot start a hub connection that is in the disconnected, that is not in the disconnected state. Oh. That's on line 26. Here. You know what? You know what's happening? Start logging. Hang on. Let's look at this for a second. Chat room, let's look at this. Can you help me out here? It's calling start logging and stop logging. Where does it actually call that? Right? I should have a stack here. I don't have a stack. Why don't you have a stack? I want to see the stack. Like, how did we get there? What called this? This isn't the call stack you're looking for. So where is it? A fast hard disk is very important. Yes. The Ryzen stuff, I've been told, the Ryzen processors, yeah, I agree. I've been told they are quite nice. All right, so what's calling start logging here? I'm gonna have to go over here, right? Because this function is being called somewhere. I forget where. So I'm going to do a find in files. Just look at the current solution, the current project. Go find it. Where's it being called? JS runtime invoke async. Aha! In the current channel model. All right, so after render async, it calls start logging. So that tells me that it's already connected, right? And we should also have a dispose here that tries to do the same thing. Thank you for the follow. Get her done. 77. Thanks so much for the follow. Old Mick Hub, what did you do? Oh, yeah. Stop logging is in the else in connection on. Can't see a call. Yeah, so it's there. Stop logging. Where? So if it doesn't contain the message list, then it'll stop, right? So it'll presumably stop logging, but even if I refresh this, right? Connection state disconnected. So it's trying to start. I don't want that breakpoint. So it looks like it's bang. Cannot start a hub connection. And it's trying to reconnect that thing. Oh, cool. All right. So, what did I do? Hey, Rambling Geek. How did we break this? How did we break this? Anything useful in the network tab? Nope. Connected with Blazor right there. Then it connected to the Logger Hub separately. Why can't I see the actual content of the socket? Right, there used to be a way to see the socket connections, the messages. Right. Yeah. So it tried to connect after I clicked the button, but it also tried to connect when I loaded the page. Something like that. Well, if I reload the page, right? So there, everything's connected. When I try to do something here, it's supposed to be sending that message back across the line, and it tries to re-render it again. So what if so it is started. Yeah, it looks like it tries it a second time and it's already started. So part of me says, well, what if we put a guard around it? Right? That said, if the connection is already started, right? I mean, let's take a look at the state of that, right? If I say connection, there it is, right? And I can take a look at what's going on with the connection. And it is connected, right? Yeah. So what if I take that, let's drop that into our JavaScript, right? Right? So don't start if it's already doing it, right? Maybe that'll help here a little bit. So hard refresh. Robert Tables is here!
Robert Tables just resubscribed for 12 months.
Thank you so much, my friend. It is great to see you again. 1 year. That puts you into the rainbow hat with propeller. Who dat indeed. Look at the gritty. Look at the heck. Oh, heck. And gritty. Cosine theta. Thank you for the follow. Oh my gosh. No, you don't. You can't just say that. What we need to do is... boom. And there he is. Boom, boom. That's totally a thing. Okay. So when you call connection start, is start logging. You try to start a connection that's already started. Yeah. All right. So now it should be right, but it's not connected to anything. Wrong button. No. All right. Here we go. See, I click the join and nothing happens.
Oh my.
All right. If I click over to configuration, this one hangs as well. So there's something going on server side that it's choking on. The boom scared your dog? How about a little lightning? How's that one, Snoopaloopy? Maybe I'll just stay here with an echo for a little bit. Anyways. That was the wrong button. Soundboards are magical. Okay?
Bazinga.
Yeah. So I'm not... Alright, so now I'm not getting that second bit here, but my channel configuration... No and then yet. No and then. This isn't loading quite right. I wonder... Did I break something? Did I break something with my CSS layout? Chat room. I could have. That was a Pink Floyd button. I don't know what you mean, Boom Boom. Okay. CSS affecting it sounds slim. Well, here's what I'm thinking, Spicy Condiment. Did I remove elements that somehow are being referenced and not handled properly? Hey, Lily Hazel, good to see you.
Alrighty then.
Thanks so much. Riddle me this. Let's do this. So let's commit that. Okay. Prevent attempting to connect chat log while already connected. Well, let's put that into the mix here. And let's just roll the dice. Let's look back here. And right, so that was Sunday. Learn some CSS together with Amy. We think it worked here. So let's go get this one. Let's go get that version. Okay. And let's see how this works, right? Just to roll back time, to rewind and take a look and see if, did we actually break something between these two states? Because then we can look at our changes and actually tell the difference. And Robert Tables is doing his best Cher impression, and I am not gonna sing. I am not going to sing. I am not going to sing. So let's open this up. Let's see if we find a fix in here. If we see that this is actually working. Well, there's a problem. There was an error in there right from the get-go. Does that tell us something? No connection could be made because the target machine actively refused it. Oh, that was for ngrok. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But if I go down here to configuration, these things work. Do you see what I'm finding here? So chat room. I think I know where our problem is. Clearly, we made some changes and broke it here. Right? Over the last week. Right? So if we do a difference between this version and the current version that we have, we should be able to figure out where the break is. Yeah, Carrie, you're right. I broke it. It was me. All right?
Well, do your best.
I will. So, manager I used to work for, way back in the day, guy who's actually published a couple of Pluralsight courses. His name is Patrick Nieborg. He told me that source control is the source of truth. Everything is in there. If you broke something, if you filed a bug, you created a bug, it's in there. You can find it, and you can figure out how to fix it. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to spend some time here just taking a peek at source control and figure out where that bug is and see if we can fix it. Yeah, so I don't think it's so much the changes in CSS as the changes in HTML. Indeed, Carrie, we're gonna blame a little bit here is what we're gonna end up doing. So let me open up a browser. I think the quick way to do this is going to be to go to GitHub. There's our application. I'm going to make sure I'm in the dev branch here. And, right, we should be able to do a diff between features, right? I want to be able to go back in my commits. Right, so here's all the commits. Right, and is that the one that we want to go back to? D88. There it is right there, this one. So, did Amy break it? So, two changed files, main layout. That could be a thing. Div class sidebar, div class main. Right, what did we remove in here? And then it's the CSS. The CSS clearly didn't break it, right? Thank you for the follow, Julius. Appreciate it. Missing a div ID. I think you might be onto something. Right, if it's looking for a class named main and not doing anything on it, that could totally be a thing. Latries, thank you for the follow as well. Appreciate the follows, helping us reach our next follower goal. And I have a bunch of envelopes that I am stopping at the post office on my way out of town and dropping off here. Lolanchi, thank you for the follow as well. All right. I'm wondering if one of these two classes, would it really be referenced somewhere in some JavaScript or something that's breaking it? Thank you for the follow, Leopard. The wall part 3 starts with breaking glass. You're right. Does the bot have LinkedIn integration? That's an interesting idea, Zebcode. I'd love to hear more about what you think of that. How would we integrate with LinkedIn? What should it do? Latrise is learning CSS and HTML in school at the moment. Oh, best of luck to you. If you have any questions, please ask them here. I do make it a point, ethically, we do not do homework for folks or answer exam questions on channel. But I'm happy to answer questions you may have about the technologies. Asterisk. Let me asterisk 6. Ooh, that's tough to say. I got to be careful I say that right. Has an interesting question here that I want to make sure that we get to.
Imperial just resubscribed for 6 months. Oh man, I was hoping I could get you to do all my homework for me.
Hey, Imperial! It's so good to see you. No, I'm not doing your homework. I haven't shown off that thing that I purchased in Florida while I was there with you. That was totally a thing. I haven't shown that off on stream. And the way my cameras are positioned, I can't stand up and show it off. We'll do homework for tacos, says Snoopaloopy. Okay. Wait, hang on. Wait a sec. Tell me, chat room, this does not look the least bit blackmailish.
You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
It's not me. That's not me in those pictures. You can't. What is this thing? Okay. Give me one moment. Fritzy bought himself a toy while he was there. Am I using slobs or XSplit? I'm using regular old OBS here, okay?
Let me add some value.
Thank you for the cheer, Carrie. For the thing. Oh, wait do you see? This was so cool. I had to. This was totally a thing. Look at this. I got Mace Windu's lightsaber. I didn't even take the labels off of it yet. Look, they're still on there. Oh my gosh! Sam Jackson says that he designed his so that it, just like from Pulp Fiction, it should say "Bad Mother." If you saw Pulp Fiction, you know what it says on his wallet. But he wanted that, but it's all black and it's heavy. Oh, it feels so good. It just feels right. It is the lightsaber. We got it at Galaxy's Edge. I went and hung out at Galaxy's Edge with Nurble, Imperial, and our friend Fierce Kittens, also from the Live Coders team, and a friend of Fierce Kittens. And it was a tremendous day before Ignite. I had a great time there. But yeah, this is Mace Windu's, right? Which means it's the purple one. It's the purple one, and you can't see it on stream, damn it. Yeah. It's too bright here. But it's so cool. It is so cool. But I'm going to have this on the shelves over there so that you can see it behind me. I've also got an Infinity Gauntlet. It's a cookie jar. I put my Wookiee cookies in there. But that's going to totally be a thing in the background. I'm going to update the background here. It's the Twitch color. It's the Visual Studio color. You can't see it because of all the light here. But I definitely need to get some photos taken with it. It is so cool. It was so weird carrying that lightsaber blade on the plane. Everybody's staring at me like, what the hell is this guy got? Yeah, it's a lightsaber. I bought a lightsaber. It's true. Is it terms of service? Absolutely. It was so much fun. So, I'm going to come back to Zebcode's question here in a second. Thank you for the follow, Abidnet95. Thank you. Yeah, bringing it home on the plane is a little bit tricky. Going to call a brand new computer the Infinity Gauntlet, but decided on Turbo Hamster instead. Nice. So, the question I'm going to get to from... So, Zebcode says... Have a LinkedIn bot that uses sentiment analysis to respond to messages on your behalf. Planning to use Razor Engine as a templating system. So you select the right content depending on what the person is asking for. You can do that with gRPC and just building a service, a worker service that runs on Linux, runs on Windows. Register it as a service application. You don't need Razor templating. You can use that to format your messages, but you're just formatting strings. So you can totally do it that way or the other way, and it just works. And my Wookiee cookies I think you mean GDPR compliant, Carrie. Well, I get all my Wookiee cookies straight from the source. I go to Imperial. She's the one with the Wookiee cookies, and I still can't find my Wookiee cookie pin. But I do have... Haha! I'm going to embarrass her now. Watch this. I do have her card from last year. Look at that. Imperial girl. So, that's totally a thing. I keep all the cards from my Twitch friends here, right? Including, well, I've got that sticker from Fierce Kittens. I can't show you her card because she prefers for that not to be shown. There's Fairy Wings card. Yeah. I've got all kinds of things from my Twitch friends that I keep right here in front of me on the desk. So Aster6 asks, this is a very good question. Company was hit with a severe ransomware attack, pretty much okay now. However, the company's paranoid, added extreme measures. Comes up as the safety of NuGet. How do you know a package has not been compromised? Is there anything to verify packages? There are now verified package indicators on NuGet that you can use to verify that it truly came from Microsoft or from someone in the .NET Foundation, that it's been properly signed and received appropriately. So I would suggest only bring in those signed and secured packages. So what I can show you here to kind of address that, and then we're going to fix, and I want to show Imperial the train. We got to show her the train. We've been building this for her. We should show her what it looks like. But what I can, let me show you for the solution. You'll start to now see there is a marker on these that indicates that it is truly signed by who it is. If we go to NuGet.org, there is now a check that you will see to indicate that this is signed and delivered by who it says it is, okay? The ID prefix has been reserved by one of the owners, but from NuGet.org. Right, if we go to Microsoft ASP.NET Core, it also has the check here. All right, so you know that it is who it says it is, that nobody's hijacked and they've taken it. You can see exactly where these things come from, who depends on it. But there is now signing for these so that you can have it verified that it is from who it says it is. Whether while they were building it, something got into the mix and broke it, that's a whole nother story. Was their chain of custody for developing that software maintained properly? Maybe. I can tell you that I know of organizations who, when they built their software coming out of the CI, there was at least one or two organizations that I've talked to that the build that came out, the hash for that build did not match what went into continuous integration, and they threw out the builds and went back and diagnosed the entire system to make sure that everything was running properly. I've seen that in some organizations. So, Robert Tables, you are spot on there. I gotta call out that one. We have to show Imperial the train. Otherwise, she's got pictures of us.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
I did. But here's the thing.
It's illegal in 9 countries.
So I'm gonna have to show her the tree. So this is still. I think am I still? Let me go back to the previous version that does work. Let me run this, and we can show off the train here for a second. Yep, there's a thing on GitHub for signed commits. Yes, indeed. The question is, does something get injected between that source code and the continuous integration process? Weird things happen in there that we need to keep an eye on. So, you're right, GA Progman. Yep. So this was something that we had to fix, and we have since. Yeah. There it goes. There's the thing. Okay. So if we look at the list of current channels and we tell it, you must join the C# Fritz channel. Here's our user activity train. Right now it only does follows. Yep, that's okay. Every 5 minutes, 300 seconds, so 5 minutes to track follows. We need to wire this up to subs. Not hard, we know how to do that. It's just another method that we need to actually configure. But this is our train widget. Thank you for the follow. I think you came in just a few seconds late. Oh, and I don't have, wait a sec. I do need, those follows aren't going to trigger the widget, but thank you, Gabriel and Dark Repulsor. Appreciate the follows. Since I don't have ngrok set up, I can fake this. And make it do the thing. So here we go. Trigger a test follower. There it is. So there's my train going across the screen. Right? And I can trigger a second. And there it is. It's a train with 2 cars. And it's got a little 2 on the end. And we can do it again, and now we got 3. But it'll take its 5 minutes to cross the screen and to get that follower appropriately identified and added into the mix there. Otherwise, if it reaches the end of the screen, it will reset the train. Now, this was just some boilerplate, simple images that we got here. But what we were thinking of doing for our friend Imperial is change that to be Star Wars themed. So it goes into the little train station, and we're done. So if I get a new follower now, it was supposed to reset to 1. It didn't reset to 1. It should have reset to 1. I can hit this a bunch of times, and it's... Why didn't it reset to 1? Anyways, we'll figure that out, why it didn't reset to 1. But we've got this issue that we're still trying to resolve for that code that we broke over the weekend. But Edge? Nope. Firefox. We use Firefox here on stream typically. So you'll see me use Edge every now and again. But that should have reset now that it's all gone into the doodad, so that, yeah, that should have gone to 1. All right, I'm going to take that as an issue to address, but now we can take a look at what's going on there. We need to fix the SignalR connections, and it looks like train reset to 1. We need to make sure that that works. Firefox Developer Edition is cool. Our friend Amy, who joined us on Friday, showed us some of the neat things that we were able to do there with learning Flex. I'm pretty happy with it. Floop! Welcome, Floop. You've been lurking over the past few weeks, learned a lot from me. Well, thank you so much, Floop. I appreciate you joining us, and thank you for the kind words. Always great to have folks hanging out and asking questions and hopefully learning together with us. So, all right. I think, right, if we look at what changed over here, I'm willing to bet it's either class sidebar or class main broke this. You know what I mean? Know what I mean there, Vern? So I'm going to look for .main. See if that's anywhere besides the CSS. Right? That's the only place. Right? Or is it .lowercase main? Nope, still finds it. Well, if that's right. What was the other one? .sidebar? Is that totally a thing? Nope, no problem there either. I don't know what could be changing and breaking it. We live in the future, my friends. My daughter just texted me, oops, and is asking for the Disney Plus user ID and password. Are you kidding? Pardon me while I text back my daughter. Like, you're kidding, right? It used to be, hey Dad, can I borrow the keys to the car? Hey Dad, can I have the credit card so I can go to the mall and go shopping? Now it's, hey Dad, can I have username and password so I can get on to Disney Plus?
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think would fly. Think.
I know, right? Disney Plus is exciting times. I'm surprised Imperial's watching here and not watching The Mandalorian. You know what I'm saying? So I think, okay, this looks like it's okay. Looks like. So what happened? I'm just going to look at each one of these in code review. One changed file, and it was the to-do. That's fine. Okay. This one. 158 changed files. Oh, darn. This is when we added .NET format. Did .NET format break this? I hope not. You need to figure out how to edit to your Hulu. That's not a bad idea either. You know what? Let's check out that branch. Let's see if it still works. Okay. Right, so we're just going... There we go. I'm like Marty McFly. I'm going back in time here. You know what I'm saying? If only I had the great Scott sound effect handy, but I don't. Well...
60% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah, 60% of the time. Every time. You got a call from school? Oh, man. Kids. You know what I mean? Okay, that's fine. Yep, because we fixed that. So there's where we left that. So now if I go over to the configuration page directly, it works. Okay, so that first one that we did with Amy here, that works. 97 Echo Baker, which isn't there. Okay, what's this one? It's just the to-do. So that is Delta 95 Charlie. Delta 95 Charlie. Okay. And if we run this one. Yeah, I know. No, don't save. No, don't save. I think I may have found something. Call it a hunch. Dude! Dude! Dude. I think we may have found something. Your heart always races whenever you see the school come up in caller ID. Yeah. What did my kid do now? That's what I always wonder. Come on. Come on. Build. Do the thing. You redeemed the free year of Apple TV when you got your new iPhone and you haven't even looked at it yet. I got a free year of Disney Plus because I have Verizon. So now if I go to configuration, that works. That works. But this is my new layout. So far so good. Okay, that was this one, Dog95. 158 changed files. Why was this merged a second time? This is 97 Echo Baker. Okay. And there is a way to do this with git bisect to automatically do this. 97 Echo Baker. So you can see when things changed and if they broke or not. Right? Look at this. Yes, reload all. No. Fine. Let's close the solution. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. Reload all. Huh? Okay, reload it. I feel like we've spent an hour and we're just chasing this one bug. You know? They can be merged twice when you merge from branches that weren't rebased on the target before merge. Yeah. It's unsettling. Come on. Compile, you fool.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Clearly I don't. Right? Chasing bugs in real life dev. Yeah. Total time sink. Right? Okay, so that's yeah. Trying to reload and misbehave. So if I go to configuration, that works. Current channels, that works. Okay, so we're still good. So the next commit after this from 97 Echo Baker is the last one. Continuing to simplify. 9 changed files, so it's in here. So channel manager actor, if rejoin list, there it is. There it is right there. No, actually, I think that's okay. There's the reset CSS. Hang on, go back up to the top. Look at the list of files. 9 change files. There we are. That's the only C#. Pages index. Where we removed the style sheet. That's fine. I think it's, if I were to guess anywhere, it's this right here. Channel manager actor. Right? Because now it doesn't want me to reload anything. Try the build again. Ha! Robert Tables with there's the comment of the day. Look at this. If debugging is the process of removing bugs from code, then surely programming is the process of adding them.
You can do it!
And evidently I did a lot of it. So there it is, all connected. If I go to configuration, I hang in here. I think it's inside that channel manager actor. Let's go back over there. Right, and that source code that we saw it change is here on line 81. Here, rejoin channels. So it's doing this. It's asking for the list of channels to reconnect. I'm gonna put a breakpoint right there and see what happens. What type of microphone and audio software am I using? Room conditioning. My audio is great, says Durstberger. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That is very kind of you to ask. This is an Audio Technica AT2020 hooked into a Mackie Pro FX8 soundboard. You can see details about my configuration if you go to live.jeffreyfritz.com. There's links down below. Additionally, I have foam acoustic paneling on the wall here in front of me. The green screen behind me is cloth, so that's redirecting sound as well. The trick is when the doors open and close around me, you'll occasionally hear that. Thank you for the link, Robert Tables. So, yeah, Durstberger, that's a little bit of what I use. And of course, I like to think I'm a radio person here, so I like to eat the microphone a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm told that folks like it sometimes when I talk like this. Shouldn't that be an or? So rejoin list is something. Are there any channels? Yes, there are. So if it is null, yeah, that should be an or. So if it is null, don't even check to see if there are any channels. That would error out and none of this would work. But there was something there. So let's restart and see what happens. You've been using Vim for about 2 years now. Mostly because you can't figure out how to exit it. Oh, Pontgen. Oh, Pontgen, you're gonna make me hit this. Shift Z, Shift Z. Get back to me. You can thank me later. The closer the mic, the better the sound. Amen. I'm just going to lean right into it right here and just completely overmodulate myself. No. You're better off letting Vim exist, don't bother fighting with it. Or, yep, :WQ, that works too. So now, rejoin list is not null. Are there any? So that should continue through there. And get the channel actors and build the thing. So that did the thing. So if I come over here and I click configuration, it still doesn't work. So that's not it. That's not it. But get channel actor down here. Right, rejoin channels is called in one place. It receives that message, receives it async, right? And does this. Just to cut to the chase. Let's see what happens if we tell it not to rejoin channels. See if we get it to just do the thing here. Now doing ASMR streams. I did read The Invisible Man. I read 6 chapters of it. I have more that I want to do. I have to cut it up. But I did do some reading of that. I did read Christmas stories last year, and you can find those in the highlights. Click the videos up above, and you can find that where I read "'Twas the Night Before Die Hard" and the story of John McClane, because it is everybody's favorite Christmas movie. Thank you for the follow, Maishboom. C# looks a lot like JavaScript. You can read it fine, but what's the pro of C#? C# is compiled. It's statically typed. So I have a compiler that can help me and tell me when I do good things, wrong things. C# is also managed and maintained open source, but primarily by Microsoft. And there are a lot of folks with PhDs that are writing the language. They're really freaking smart people. I am constantly in awe when I get a chance to talk to them because these people are brilliant. I am quite blessed to be able to count some of them among my friends. And we've seen them join us from time to time here on this channel. There's things that you can do with C# because C# is now part of it's always been part of the .NET ecosystem, but you can use it everywhere to build anything. Games, applications, websites, IoT devices, program those, cloud applications. You can take C# and go anywhere with it with a great compiler and really great tooling. One more pro over JavaScript, it compiles into native binaries. Yes. Frameworks in C# are not considered obsolete after 6 months. Not only that, Stelzy, but they're supported for a very, very long time. That worked. Friends, that worked. I removed the rejoin and that worked. So did that. Do you see what I see? A bug lurking in my code. I'm not going to go any further than that. I've already tortured you enough with me singing. Dear God, what am I thinking? But that's because ngrok isn't running. That's okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is where the bug is. Get channel actor, right? This is down here. If is null or empty, message channel name return false. New join channel. That's the channel name that we're joining. That should be okay, right? So let's step through this when we actually do have the deal here. Right? Why am I commenting? Just remove it. Just remove it. We don't need that. Mario coins for me. Yes, let me give myself some Mario coins. There they are. About 95 more of those and I get a 1-up. It's true. I learned it watching this channel. All right, so new, yes, and the channel name is C# Fritz that it should join, and here we are. Get the channel actor. All right, is the nope. So it's going to continue. Channel actors. Does it contain C# Fritz? Nope. So it's going to continue. It's going to ask for the channel configuration for that and do it synchronously. Well, there's our problem right there. There you go. It never returned. It asked for the channel configuration. It's getting the awaiter to try and get a result. Yeah. We got a problem right there. So it blocks and it never returns, so nothing ever does anything. I see. All right. So if we make get channel actor, if we make this async, right? Right, because we can make this receive here async, right? So if we go over to get channel actor, we can make this async task, right? That's totally a thing now. So now for this chalupa, we can say await there. Know what I mean? Yeah, shut up. Shut up with the configure await. You're calling configure await on everything. Does that make you feel good? It doesn't make me feel good. Where is it? Rejoin channels. Rejoin channels. Rejoin. I can't find it. It's totally a thing here. There it is. So now I can await this, or I can put them into a task array and just wait for them all. I could totally do that, right? Right? That would be a thing. So there's this concept, right? Task list equals new list of type task, right? So I can say task list dot add. So it, right? So it's running. It executed that, but I've got it coming back as a task. So now I can say task now dot wait all task list to array. Right, so it's off. It's trying to get all those channels connected, and we're going to wait for them to finish before saying that this is done. That's not bad. So let's see what happens there now. Let's see if we get to that. What's the best way to learn MVC? Asks its DMR. You have a class, but the teacher isn't very good. Sorry to hear that. Best way to learn MVC is, well, there's lots of great videos out there on it. I suggest you check out .net and click the Learn button up at the top. There's an MVC series of videos there you can watch. You can also go over, we have a workshop video, an 8-hour workshop video where we go through all of ASP.NET Core MVC. You can find, there's 2 versions of it. You can find over on the YouTube channel. You can check that out. So, what do you mean for each await? The for each await is awful. So that's why, right, grab the task and chuck it over here. So, best of luck to you, it's DMR. And we're always happy to answer questions both here and on the Discord channel to help folks along. So, that should have started. There it is. Thank you for the follow, it's DMR. Appreciate you joining us. Still doesn't work. Still locked up solid. Look at that. And Andrew Crane, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. Yeah, these ones that are going through there, they're locked up pretty good. So somewhere we're still not handling our await properly. Right? This one. Something's hanging in here, which tells me if we step down through here where it's doing this. Channel configuration actor ask for the channel configuration. Right, it's trying to get back channel configuration from the channel. Let's go over there. This one. And where'd you go? Right, it's asking for using a get configuration for channel. This one. Down in here. So this is trying to do a thing. Let's see if we hit that properly. Microsoft does some nice MVC labs on GitHub. Yep. There's some great samples out there that you can find if you go to github.com/.net-samples, I believe is where you'll find it. So we'll get for the channel ID. So if string, oh yeah. Okay, context sender tell this config, the channel configuration. Casting issue. Does Akka not know what to properly return? We're in the auth 0 extensions at this point. Get configuration for channel. It's not returning. I think this ask. It's hoping to get a channel configuration coming back. Get configuration is a channel configuration is what it's returning. MBB.
Moist Booty Boy just resubscribed for 5 months. Anniversaries are always fun.
Thank you so much for the sub. And we'll make another donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Right? That should totally work. Akka was doing this, no problem, when I tell it to connect folks. But it's not doing it when I put it in that loop. It works the one way, but not the other. What's the deal with that? What do you think, chat room? What am I doing wrong here? Does it need to return a tell? For the kids, indeed. Thank you. Try the non-generic ask. So if I go back through here, right? Context, sender, tell. Okay. You're saying, well, this works. If I change, all right, if I get rid of the generified there, right? Message with a cancellation token. And it returns an object. So if I put in, let's call it this. Channel configuration. Try and cast it. Right, let's put a break there. See if we hit that one. But context sender. Right, tell. Right, look. If I put a breakpoint here, right, we get there. So it should tell the sender, which was Look at that. Yeah, it didn't get back. Yeah. It's not getting back over here. It does this and never receives anything back. So why is that? Right? Ask task never completing. That's totally what's happening here. Its status stays in the waiting for activation state. You use the ask pattern but never send a message back. Yes, I did. Will only be completed when a message is received from the actor. The sometimes advised tell or fire and forget pattern doesn't do this. Yeah, I know. I know. But it works in the other syntax. Right? Ask this. Well, okay, yeah, that isn't. That's clearly not telling. That's right, I'm not using the dark reader. 7 mistakes? Yeah. Making message classes mutable? I didn't. Disassociated messages? Sending massive messages over Akka remote? Nope. Executing long-running actions inside of a receive? Nope. Well, actually, kind of do. I kicked something off. Using actor selection instead of iActorRef? Nope. Over-dependence on dependency injection? Nope. Confusing the procedural async await model with actors? No. Akka.net ask. And it's... Hey! It's InstaFluff. So good to see you, my friend. I'm using Akka.net to make an ask. And it never returns. I'm asking for something from another actor, and it never returns. And of course I ask, and it doesn't. Show me the ask method. Come on now. You know, I'm super stumped when you're halfway down Google and all you see is purple. Yeah. Right? You know, you're super stumped when you... Oh, InstaFluff. Akka, excuse me? No. No. Not quite. But this works outside of... Where'd it go? Oh, dear Lord, where is it? I'm looking for it. There we go. Outside of this method, it does work. Right, get channel actor returns an async task. I'm awaiting it right here. And that doesn't return. Sender.tell reply self. The sender of this message defaults to no sender if left unknown. Alright, well, I'll pass self then. See if that does a thing. Cafe Vanilla's been hitting the spot today, let me tell you. G Fuel, the sour grape is nice. And that's what I've been drinking recently. I need to get some more flavors, by the way. But every now and again, that's not too bad. So now that should jump back, and it didn't. It didn't. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm poof. Yeah. Locked up solid here. So the rejoin action that it calls. This is an interesting problem, friends. Because when we reinitialize everything, I tell it. Nope, not there. Where'd it go? There it is. To rejoin channels. So it happens once. And it happens before the rest of the application, before the web server gets started. But I'm locked up solid there. Because it doesn't return everything. Right? I feel like, right, the rejoin channels, where'd it go? Oh, it's way up at the top. Wrong one. No! Rejoin channels, there it is. Right. This, there's multiple awaits in this method. It should handle that, right? And this wants me to call configure await here. If I do that, I don't know what the difference is between the two of these. Use the application started event to rejoin. All right, let's try that. Let's try that. We can default this to null because it doesn't actually do anything with the message here. So if we I don't need to remove it there. If we go over here, take it out of the startup, so it's not happening in the startup. But the comment is, what if we do it around restart of the channel manager actor? So when this restarts, right, when my application restarts, so around post restart, so it's done restarting, do something, right? So I could say rejoin channels at this point. Now that'll do it with a fire and forget. I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. Just go, do the thing, get started. So let's see if that picks it up and does the rejoin. Yeah. Okay. Get configuration for channel. Let me look at the call stack. Of course. Of course. You don't know where you came in from, do ya? Okay, so now I'm back in... That's configuration model. I thought I would be over here. What? Hang on. Channel manager actor. I was in here. What I'm hoping is that I'm somewhere down around there, but I don't think I am. Yeah. It didn't rejoin. Right. I can't. Right, if I say get awaiter, get result, so that it runs synchronously. Should see that happen. But it it didn't lock up and it didn't rejoin either. Didn't rejoin. This didn't execute. It's not doing the rejoin at all. Come on. I will say this about the Madrinas can. It feels like it's a thinner aluminum than a normal software can. Yeah, don't call the base first. Well, I thought I would then have it function after it. It still didn't hit it. That didn't get executed. Right? Around restart, it didn't. I think we need to do this, not restart. We're overriding the wrong event. Right? Let me show you something. Let me show you something. I'm in the wrong class. There we go. That's restart. I don't think I want to do it in restart. Around pre-start, I want to do it after, not when the actor is started. Right? I want to do it after it starts. Right? So it's still not initialized. That's pre-start. Right? If I put it here, we'll see if it actually picks up and runs. Because it makes total sense to me that we want to have it fire as part of the startup process. Total sense. Right? There it is. It's actually being called. Task list wait all. Let's see if it actually gets to here. So there it's getting the configuration for the channel. Yes. Okay. It never got to the end of the rejoin channels. Nope. There is no active actor context. Because, right? It's trying to send messages back, and those messages don't exist. Right? It's trying to send stuff back. It's not started yet. So, right after starting the actor, it sets its pre-start method is invoked. Okay. So let's go after around pre-start. Right? I mean, if we go to the pre-start method, and put it here, right now, it should be after it, hopefully. Hey, the singing Mexican, good to see you. And it... Okay, so there it is being called. Okay, there's the await to send back. Context, sender, tell. So it's in the middle of sending information back. Here we go. Bang! Nope. It does not have a context. There is no active actor context due to use of async operations from within this actor. Right. But I'm trying to get it to run right here. So if I get rid of this, Try to make this run synchronously now. So then that means this. Yeah, I know. Right? That right there I can't do. Is anything being started async further down? No. I mean, right, it asks for this. The get channel actor here. This gets the configuration, and it awaits it right there. But it comes back. It goes and notifies and says, hey, go track new followers as well. Hey, Hugo. Thank you for the host, AshDev. Appreciate you joining us. Thanks so much for that. Yeah, I am confused. Where the heck is this coming from? I mean, I feel like this is now in the right place. If I make this... right? Get rid of this. So that's now synchronous. Okay. This is asynchronous, that right? So task list add get channel actor, right? I would really like that to be asynchronous. You know? I did not open up live share today. Yeah. Change that like this. And actually, I never receive a message for that anymore, so I can just remove it. Oh, man. These are the kinds of bugs that drive developers insane. Okay, so it is trying to rejoin channels now. All right, get configuration for channel. It's got the configuration, and it's going to tell based on itself. Okay. So the task list has one task on it, and it's waiting for activation. Not yet computed. It hasn't received anything, right? That task for get channel actor isn't complete. Yes, .NET Core. That's correct. Did we hit line 169 there? Now it did. There's no active actor context. Hang on. Wait, that's somewhere down in here. Is it one of these? Exception during creation. Line 98. Yeah, there. But that aggregate points to 176 here. Trying to create the channel, the actual channel actor. Oh, take care, AshDev. Thanks so much for tuning in. My goodness. So, okay, hang on. We don't have context. There is no context during that pre-start because we don't have, right? When that's being called out of rejoin, we don't have a context here. Check this out. Get rid of that. So we're really close here. That, I think I know what's going on there. Right, so rejoin channels, yep. It's got a thing that's returned here. Context. Boom. There is no context. We don't have a context because when you look at the call stack, it tells us nothing. Yeah. All right, so let's go to the immediate window. Let's go to the immediate window. Thank you. What else do we have available to us here that we can take a look at? Can we say self dot? No. Right? How can I get an actor of something? You want to learn programming? You chose C#. Should you teach C#? Should you learn C# before that? Should you learn C before C#? No. C is a very complex language in that you have to handle all of your memory. You have to handle all of your interactions. You have to handle all of the interactions with the processor, with RAM, every time. Where C# will gloss over and hide some of those things, and you have what's called the garbage collector that'll manage those things for you. And it depends a little bit on where you want to go. If you want to get into game programming, learn C. Learn C++. Don't learn C. Learn C++. Go after that. C# will get you very productive quickly, and a lot of enterprises use C#. And a number of startups are starting to use it because they see the flexibility and the value you can pursue with it. But I'm making sure that I take my time in how I pronounce things so that hopefully things appear properly in closed captioning. And if you need some help with translation, that works as well. But if you're looking to become just a member of the software development community and you want to be productive in a variety of different applications, learn C#, don't worry about C++. I would only consider C++ if you're going to be building some low-level applications. Things that need to run directly on the metal of a machine, directly on the processor. Games, drivers, databases or operating systems, IoT devices, right? Internet of Things devices. Then I would consider it. So, best of luck to you. Context gets set by the base. I think that's where you're trying to call base first, right? Exactly. That's why I'm trying to let that happen. But there is no context here, so I don't have a way to reach into it. C# and Unity is a great game dev combo. It is. Yep. You think the rejoin logic needs a bigger rethink of how you're doing it? Well, okay, so let's back up. Stop the press. If I take it out of here, right? I'll just comment that out for now. And go back over to... Not there. Right, and if I receive the message, right, then it's behaving just like everything else, and it does have a context, right? When it gets to here, it has that thing. But now in order for me to call it, I can do it there, and it should trigger after the channel manager actor is already created. And should be running. You're very welcome, Hagamoro Senin. Best of luck to you. So let that start. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Hey, Toefrog. So now it's actually launching just as another message that's being passed in. So it should trigger and have that context, right? Get configuration for channel. That's a thing. Good. Context. Now it's telling me it doesn't have context there either. Because when I look at the call stack, we're outside the loop. This get channel actor being called from within rejoin, not that rejoin channels, this rejoin channels. I'm saying wait all here, right? This should not proceed past there, right? What are my overloads that I have here? Yeah. Right? That should block right there. Yeah. I don't want to do a wait all. I want to do a when all. I could make this async, and it's probably better to do it that way, right? Since I've got two of these things here. See how that works now. Wait a sec. Turn this into receive async. That should work. I understand what you're saying about putting it in the pre-start method, so that when this object is created, when this channel manager actor is created, it handles it. That was it trying to reach into ngrok. And that worked. Oh my gosh!
Tub Game just gifted 5 subs.
TBD Gamer, thank you so much for those gift subs. We're going to make 5 donations to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And congratulations to Van Bonzen, Chosenhosen, Neshki Narovkin, Akidonov, and Ellieface. Congratulations, you all just got gift subs to the channel. That's going to turn off advertisements here. You're going to get 17 emotes you can use everywhere here on Twitch. And most importantly, you get to throw emotes at my face. Yeah, we're going to make a donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, but you get to throw emotes at my face. And who doesn't want to throw emotes at my face? Thank you so much, TBD Gamer, for that generosity. And, yeah, very cool. Thank you so much. All right. That looks like it's working now, but I kind of agree. It's not... It would be nicer... I agree with where Stelzy was going. It would be nicer if it ran in the pre-start here. Which, the only time that this actor actually starts and stops... Yeah, darn Skippy. Indeed. Right? Throw those emotes. They're fantastic. So, no redemptions on channel points today. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. I'm going to leave it go like that. Because that works. That totally works the way that we have this configured right now. Right? So, check out the hype from QBite7. No tacos today either. Look at that. Right? Let me get rid of some of these breakpoints. Right? There we go. Look at the tacos. Love the tacos. Everybody loves tacos. Boom, that works. Boom, that works. Yeah, I'm feeling good. And the train works? Oh, yeah. I don't have ngrok wired up, so it's not gonna actually hear the follow commands. But let's take a look at that first. So I think we got that one done. Fix the SignalR connections. The next one we saw while we had Imperial here, the train wasn't resetting to 1 properly. Let's first things first. We've got 2 files with changes, and it's those 2. So if we diff on it, where do we make our changes? We're telling config self there. Okay. We got rid of the pre-start. It's now an async task to rejoin channels. We changed that to an or, and we have it doing a wait when all. I think that was the ticket right there. Fixed non-responsive rejoin channels. I feel good about that. I feel like I can't type my password now. There we go. Lieutenant Hummus. Good to see you, Lieutenant. Well done. Love what you do with the hummus, the chickpeas, the chips. It's magnificent what you do there, Lieutenant. Lieutenant Hummus asks, do you know any good crash courses in C#? You're good at Scala, Java, and Python. Just looking for a good overview of C#, syntax, and style. If you know Java syntax already, you're like 3/4 of the way there with C#. As a C# guy who learned Java so I could program Android, syntax was very familiar to me. So Lieutenant Hummus, you're already halfway there. 3/4 of the way there. By the time I'm answering this question, you're going to be 90% there. Trust me on this. The things that are different that you're going to need to check out are things around generics, things around what we call LINQ, the Language Integrated Natural Query, which sets up a SQL-like syntax for you to be able to create things. Predicates, things like that that you're going to go through. The big things that you need to learn for C# development aren't necessarily C#, but the BCL, right? The base component, the base class library in .NET. You're going to need to learn some of those things, how to get around there easily. Because unlike Java, Microsoft and the .NET community maintains a very tight set of these base classes that you can work with. You're going to need to spend some time around there. I would pick and choose some of the videos, some of the quick starts on the Microsoft Docs site, docs.microsoft.com. Go down into C# there, and it'll get you pointed in the right direction. There's some great videos from some of my teammates, Scott Hanselman, Maria Nagaga, that you can find on .net. Click the Learn button up there, and you'll see some of the videos there that we've built that are really good for folks that are getting started. But it's that standard library stuff. Yes. Yeah. So, I think you'll find some things in there that are really, really cool. link can be a bit overwhelming for a beginner. The fat arrow syntax there can get confusing. Let's see if we can fix this last issue that we have here. The train reset to 1. Right, this item right here. Our follower train did not reset to 1. We're not going to get to any CSS today, and that makes me feel sad.
Totes my guts.
I know, James Earl Jones, but hang with me here. We'll get through this. Trust me. No, Scott. Scott made those videos, but he doesn't have anything to do with this today. Here we go. So when the train timer elapses, it should reset the counter to 0. Right there. It's right there. It's right there. Oh, you know what? When that train timer elapses, it resets the counter to 0, but it doesn't save that state that, oh, now we reset everything. So where is it? We save that state. Load persisted configuration. It's here somewhere. I'm going to search for it. Yeah, I know. I'm wandering through my code. Yeah. We'll find it. New follower. Okay, so when a new follower happens, this whole reset thing, I think we're going to end up being able to save. Widget state repository save. Channel name, widget name, current state.
Oh my.
I know. The current state. Yeah. I think we can do this. Right? We can totally do that. So let's take that. We need to put this up on what happens when the timer elapses. It's up here somewhere. I know it is. Do this. But it's... I can fire and forget that. I'm okay with that. Totally. Uh-oh. You did not. The plot thickens. Thank you so much, Job and PA. The challenge has been presented. Change to a text editor for 15 minutes. Hang on, let me switch over here. There's a thing. There's totally a thing here. Where did it go? Yeah, it doesn't show up here. Oh gosh. All right. A state has changed in the setter of counter when it is 0. Oh, I see what you're saying. Down here. Yeah, we could do that. That'll work. That'll totally work. And we can put this stuff down in there. That makes sense. Let me move it down there, and then I will change to a text editor. Is Visual Studio Code a text editor? Can we do that? I can totally do that. I think that's legal. I think that's well within my rights here as the broadcaster. I can do that, can't I? Wait a sec. Isn't there a factoring that I can do here? Hang on. And I know I'm totally cheating. Totally cheating. Wait. Convert to full property. Yeah. Do that. Well, that didn't work. All right. No, you don't get to choose the editor. No, you don't get to choose the editor. I go to the text editor I have on this machine. All right, we're going to go for 20 minutes more so that I can give Job and PA... Let's do this. I'm working in this file here, so I'm going to open the folder, so I've got at least the folder to work in. You know what I'm saying? I think, right? So I know here's where I'm working because I'm going to be using a text editor. All right, that's where I will minimize that. Somebody get Hanselman on the phone. Tell him that Fritz is going over to a text editor here, okay? Set a timer for 15 minutes.
Your timer is set for 15 minutes.
You're on now, Job in PA. I am watching you. All right, here we go. Open with Notepad. All right. No text completion, no IntelliSense, just raw, unfettered text. Oh yeah, and there is no dark mode for Notepad. Boom. That's right, Toefrog. I'm going to let out a really big sigh. All right, so we were down here looking for that counter. Where's the counter? See, I can't even jump to things now. Counter. No. It's here somewhere. I know it is. Right, there's that. Yeah, there it is. Public int counter. All right. So we have a get. We have a set. Right, look at this. Look at this. So return counter. And I'm going to need to make that a private int somewhere here. So we'll do that here. Private int counter, and we'll default that to 0. Look at that. Just the way Mama used to make code. Right, so set underscore counter equals value. And now the idea was, well, let's only reset these other things if value equals, not triple equals. That's a JavaScript thing. I'm waiting for Janescu to hit that alert. No, I can't tab and move everything all at once. What kind of cheesy editor is this? Ugh. Okay. So I want to end that there, and that's a thing. What do you think? Does that look okay? Other than it looking like total crap because it's in Notepad.
Oh my.
You do not miss these days when you know any better code editors. I know! Ancient coders, stop laughing. You have sunglasses on? I have my Twitch sunglasses. We'll just get right to it then. That's fine. That's fine. Now we can code in light mode. All right, here we go. I can do this. All right. I can hear Carrie laughing from here. All right. So, where is it? Over here, this thing. We're going to close that. Come over to that. So, yeah. All right, we've got this. I've got this. So, I'm going to run things over here with the orchestrator. Yeah. .NET Watch, run. Is this totally a thing? Who else codes in sunglasses? I mean, seriously, right? And if you're going to get sunglasses, try the cheesy ones you get from TwitchCon. Know what I'm saying? Damn, I make this look good. Where's my blazer? Oh, that would look magnificent. Right. Hack the planet indeed. Are you a bad person for enjoying my pain? Singing Mexican, you are not a bad person. I'm the only bad person here. That's right. I've got 11 minutes left to go, and if I let this compile longer, it's just going to save some time here. Less time than... Oh, no! No connection could be made because the target machine actively refused it. Oh. That's because I'm not running ngrok. Oh, let me open another command. cdev, this folder, and I think ngrok is here, isn't it? Yes! ngrok http 5000. I think I need it on 5001, don't I? Yeah, 5001. Yeah. Okay. So look at this. I'm going to start another Notepad. I am such a glutton for punishment. 5001. Look at that. It's so wonderful. Start ngrok. There it is. HTTP 5001. Do the thing. Listen for the stuff. So now, if I come back over to this one, let's restart that chalupa. I like Taco Bell. I'm sorry. Right? You code with sunglasses on Twitch, so I can use editors in light mode. Yeah, that's right. That's what we do here. Oh, the lights are so bright. It's amazing here. I'm in awe of myself. That's how wonderful I am. I need to open a browser. Do I have a browser I can open? Nobody opens a browser for me. What kind of a world do I live in where I need to open my own damn browser? All right, here we go. Localhost. This is all your fault. Who redeemed that again? Job and PA. This is all your fault. If I go to configuration, it still works. Fantastic. There's my current channels. And if I bring up the widget, now that should receive follow messages from our friends on Twitch, and it should trigger that appropriately. And if you want to click follow because you're watching somebody write code wearing sunglasses, then I don't know what possesses you. I'm curious as to how many people from Microsoft are actually watching me do this right now because, wow. Take that, Corey Hart. That's right. What is public... Oh, Valentin Maziev. That's a very good question. Let's go to that real quick. What is public read-write live share? This is, I'll open up Visual Studio Live Share and let anybody connect in and edit code for what I think it's 15-20 minutes, and everybody has full access. Now I'm wrapping up here in just a little bit, so I would ask you to save that for next time if you want to redeem. It is so bright. Oh my gosh, my future is so bright. It is so good. So thanks for the question, Valentin. Yeah. Notepad does not have live share. Can you believe it? What kind of a world do we live in? But I think we've got everything working again. Right. I need another browser is what I need. Can I have another browser? Thank you. And notice I didn't allow you to API and the train. Why did it start right there? That's not right. Why is it starting right there? What? Why? No! It should have restarted and gone back. Now, in a world where Notepad EXE doesn't support live share, I've got a code with sunglasses. Totally a thing. All right. What happened that it isn't going all the way over here? Right? Like it should reload and move all the way over there. Did I go back to this thing? Oh, I'm gonna have to open this with Notepad again. Can you feel my pain? Can you hear my pain out there, chat room? Where is it? I know it's here. I'm going to find you in your little dog too. There it is. Counter equals value. Yeah. If the value equals 0, then do these things. Oh, this actually needs to move outside of here. I think I want to... Oh boy. I think I do want that outside of. But then it's going to save the state every time the counter changes. Not wrong, but I'm also doing that up in here when the follow happens. Right? It's like new follow or something. New follower. There it is. Right? So, how much more time do I have with this thing? 6 minutes. Okay. Start animation. So I can get rid of this because the counter reset. But it's doing widget state repository save. Let me get rid of that because now I've moved it out. Here's to hoping the formatting isn't completely messed up when I return to Visual Studio. You're not wrong, Toefrog. Curse Del Boom. See, that didn't reset and move it to the right place. It didn't. If I save that, that should restart this. File changed, and it should restart, which should reset this. But I didn't get the follow notification coming through, right? So there it refreshed, and it's at 2. Good. If I force a test follower on there, see, it's not starting all the way across. Why did it start at the wrong location there? Right? I mean, this was working just fine when we were showing it off to Imperial earlier. Right? There's the train. Right? Choo-choo woo-woo. Okay. Right, so there's the style. Right? Move train. Train. Do the train. Doing the train. Doing the train. Right? Like, it should... This is so hard to read. How dare you do this to me? Yeah. Keyframes move train. Where's the... Right? Like, if I click here, move train. Train. Width 100%, height 100 pixels, Z index -1, top 0. Do I never set the position? Hey, Alessandro Silva. Good to see you. 1 notepad instance per file. I know. You're wounding me here, chat room. You're gonna have to put the no in notepad. Right, Robert Tables? Did anybody take a picture of this? I mean, seriously, this is how you need to develop with Notepad. It's dressed like this. Right? It's totally a thing. Okay. I want to know how many people back at .NET Central, right? Which is, it's an underwater base that is right off the coast of Redmond in the Pacific Northwest, where all the .NET engineers work. How many of them wear sunglasses when they're coding with Notepad? That's totally a thing. Come back from Lurkin to Cool Cat Fritz in the Shades. Yeah, thanks so much. I think I might just continue coding like this. Darn it, where the heck is it? Why doesn't it know the location, right? Like the left, like, right? No, correct? Something like that. Oh, look at this. Train track horizontal is only 334 pixels wide. Why is it only 334 pixels wide? What did I do wrong? Where did that... Wait, ooh. Look at that. Ha-ha! I found it. It's inside the app. And CSS, the CSS grid, has made it only that much of the screen. That's what's going on. Yeah, see that? See what I got there? So... Right. If I go up here... Display grid, right? So here, this is so Amy set us up with this. So I want it to not, right? So Stelzy makes a very good point here. Can someone highlight Stelzy's comment there for me? I want to make sure that I highlight that and address it appropriately. Yes, you are correct, Stelzy. Let me click that through. I'll just click that over here. .NET is developed in a secret underwater layer off the coast of, not Seattle, it's the coast of Redmond. Redmond's actually this island with a reality distortion bubble around it, and no, I can't back that up. What do you think I am? I'm getting a little carried away. You knew it! I know, MBB. Alright, so how do I turn off the grid for this page when it's not doing the .NET stuff? When it's not doing the full application, when it's inside. Wait, I know on this. Let me go back to, I can't do my layout from here. Oh, no, wait. No. Can I put a class on this or something? Can I go up one? Not the imports. There's like a share here somewhere. Is it down in here? No. It's here. This one. Open with Notepad. User activity train. Okay. Saved by the bell. Pardon me while I say thank you, Job and PA. That was a lot of fun to use the text editor today, but I'm going back to Visual Studio. That's so much better. Where was I? I so much prefer Visual Studio over Notepad. Where was I? So the app width, right? App is let me see. It's up here. You can change the font in Notepad to Comic Sans, right? You could. Yep. And I'm wrapping up here in just a few minutes, so I'm not going to be I'm not going to take any more of those timed redemptions today. We'll come back. Tomorrow I'm giving a keynote. Thursday I'm giving a session. We'll be back on Friday. Where did it go? I'm looking for the thing. Actually, tomorrow's keynote, they're going to be live streaming from Tech Bash, and we'll get that hosted over here as well. Novice 3030, you did not just go there. Why would anyone use SignalR? Because SignalR is an abstraction over all of those things, and you can choose. It will appropriately scale down and scale up to whatever technology you would like. You're not coupled to one technology. It automatically chooses the appropriate one, and because you're using the abstraction, when new technologies come along, they get added to SignalR, and it just works. You don't have to think about anything. You don't have to adapt. You don't have to rewrite for certain technologies. And maybe if you are like Socket.io people, Socket.io only works with Socket.io. You can't use that with any other technology. It only works with JavaScript. It doesn't work with WebSockets. It actually breaks the standard. So don't use Socket.io because you break from the standard. Trust me on this one. I've been through it with Streamlabs many, many hours. And they can't solve it because they're using Socket.io. And it is not standard. It doesn't work with anything except for JavaScript. So don't use it because it's not a standard. It doesn't use the technology properly. Nobody else can work with it. And the whole reason for choosing to work with a standard is broken then. So don't do it. Socket.io is not sockets. Period. End of story. Where was I? So we were looking at the width and why we can get the app, right? App Razor here. That's inside of the index, which is inside the main layout here, which happens inside of... Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. That one. So everything happens inside of here. So I want my widget to span and go across the entire both columns. Yep, vendor lock-in from an open source project, Filament 11. So let's see here. So the site, right? App is display grid. There we go. There's the grid columns, and that's because of this. Let's see here. How can we turn that off specifically when we're in widget mode? No, there's no need to be banned. We have open discussions about technologies. There is no banning. We support and love all technologies, but whenever somebody comes in and says, "Oh, my technology is better than yours," be ready for a discussion. Everybody has reasons for preferences. Let's see here. So how am I going to shut that off, the columns and the rows on the app when we're in widget mode? Because you need the app. And I want it to go the full width. I mean, I could put it inside of a container that forces the full width, right? But then I'm going to have to put every widget inside of a container that forces the full width. I mean, that's not terrible, but it's the truth. Right. Overflow X none padding. Right, I could say, well, there, the train track. This. I could say with 100%. If I made it position absolute, top 0, left 0. So it's just always there.
Hey, listen.
Yes. How do? There it goes, reset to 0. Empty layout.razor. Where did I put that? My goodness. You're right. It's over here, but it's just the body. That still get dropped into the app. Right, I could wrap that in something that goes the full width. I could totally do that, right? So I cut those two. Right? So if I go back over to here and I put something, right, if I put a main on this, ooh, that's going to still pick up. Right, we call this empty. Nah, I don't want to do that. Make that a div. Because I don't want to, right? So then if I do this, then I can do those. Position absolute, width 100%. And that should do. That should do, right? Oh, I didn't want to restart that. Don't need to restart that. That totally works, right? Nope, it didn't go all the way across. Why didn't it go all the way across? It should have reloaded and set the position, but it's clearly starting right there, even though I've set it. Right? App? Oh, I changed the layout. It needs to recompile anyway. So that's recompiling. No, it's not recompiling. That's recompiling and restarting. Sometimes it blows your CSS files and not using reusable classes. You're right about that, Novice 3030. Amen. So there we go. That's connected. Restarting, recycling. There's that. There, now it's positioned properly. Right? Yeah, now it's the full width. It's interesting that it came all the way back over here. Right, it was right about there. Have I ever tried Angular or React? Yes, I have. Not a fan of either. They add a lot of overhead to your application that people kind of abuse. So that should hit, and after it goes all the way into the little train station there, I should be able to reset. Yeah, see, it's... Something's wrong with the timing. Because it's not restarting at the right place. You love Angular? Oh, more power to you. It's not my bag, but hey, that's okay. Some folks like Vue, some folks like React, some folks like vanilla JavaScript. To each their own. So we're trying to write with as little JavaScript as possible here, and we're trying some of the client-side .NET technologies. So that went all the way in. It should hit... this. But it's not. And actually it restarted at about the same place. So, not quite sure. Right? I feel like it's... This isn't a complex animation. I'm just using a CSS transform. And it's not quite, right? It's still somewhere over here. And if I take a look, right, the animation duration has 30 seconds. Oh, wait a sec. I've still got that hard-coded in here. Yeah. That's why it's not working properly, because I had that test code in there, so it wasn't properly loading. The time is supposed to be 5 minutes because I set it to 5 minutes. That's what it is. Right? So now if we look at this, there's the empty. Here's that style. Animation duration, 49 seconds to finish that off. That's why it wasn't resetting properly, because the timer was set wrong. So, you were thinking about testing Vue? Vue's some pretty neat stuff. My friend John Papa showed me some of that while we were on the Dev Intersection channel a few weeks ago. I learned a lot from him just taking a look at how easy it is to start up and use and compose some layouts there. If I were to look at a technology right now, I think I would... one of those frameworks. Haha, didn't say the programming language. You aren't going to trick me into saying JavaScript. And I would definitely look at using Vue and make that a thing. Yes, it is. So now if I refresh, right now it went back to 0, and we can trigger more of these. And there it goes. And it's going to take its good old time crossing the screen. Fantastic. So we fixed our issues with our SignalR rendering, and it turned out it was a big async issue that we had hanging out there. We found some old test code that was still sitting here inside of the train. I am going to commit our changes here today, get things cleaned up, and call it a day, because I think we've had a ton of fun here today. Yes, reset that counter. Thank you. That's interesting that it... whatever. Alright. Because that wasn't 5 minutes. Know what I'm saying? Let me go go up one here. Let's commit our changes. Fixed the tree so that it resets properly. Oop, and you know what? We need to mark that completed. There we go. Save that. Yep, here we go. Git commit fixed train so that it resets to 0 properly and is timed properly, because I still had that test code hanging up there. So I will commit that, push those changes. If you're interested in, what are you trying to get my attention for? It was fun? Well, thank you. I've got an extra dot in that class. Good catch. Good catch. I thought I just... Why doesn't it see that change? You know what? Evidently, I didn't change it and save it. Alright, everything's pushed out. It's on the GitHub repository. You can get access to the GitHub. There it is. That's where you can find my GitHub. Thanks so much, friends. This was a lot of fun. We got a lot done here today. And we didn't get too angry, right? Because you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Anyways, thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. I, as always, had a ton of fun here today. Let's see if there's anybody out there in the community that we can set up and do a raid for. Gosh, Twitch, I'd like to be able to get to my follower page here. Here we go. Let's set up. You know what? She was here earlier. I would feel terrible if I didn't send us over there. It's Tuesday. Yeah, Code Rushed is on, but you know what? Wait a sec. You know who's on that we don't raid all that often? Stop the Press. We're gonna raid Lana Lux. Thank you for the raid call, Hugo. Let's raid Lana. Lana's another one of the live coders. She writes games using C# and Unity right here on Twitch. It looks like she's in Unity right now, working on her latest game. So we're gonna send folks over there to say hi to Lana. If you're a follower, if you're a subscriber of the channel, grab that first line from the chatbot out of the chat room. C# Fritz's coding squad is here. All your base are belong to us. If you're not a subscriber, that's okay. Grab the second line and let's get ready to go see our friend Lana Lux as she's working on her latest game. Friends, I'll be back tomorrow at about this time, giving a keynote from Tech Bash in the Pennsylvania Poconos. We'll have it hosted. I'll host it back over here on the Twitch channel. Thursday, I'm giving a session at Tech Bash, but one of the 2 evenings, I'll be hosting a part of a panel from Tech Bash that'll be streamed here on Twitch. More details. As I know more about that, you'll see it on my Twitter. I'll drop a message into the channel Discord. And Friday, I'll be back, and we'll have more fun. We'll do some more CSS cleaning up this application. All right, friends? Get ready to say hi to Lana, and I will see you tomorrow live from Tech Bash. All right? Take care.